For more than 70 years, Volkswagen has maintained a presence in the United States. At times, it was a cultural symbol. At times, a fast-growing import success. At times, a struggling foreign brand fighting for relevance. Globally, Volkswagen became one of the largest automakers in the world. In Europe and China, it achieved scale and long-term dominance. Yet in the United States, the second largest automotive profit pool globally, Volkswagen never secured consistent market leadership. Why? This is not a story about one mistake. It is a story about structural mismatches between brand identity, product planning, regulation, consumer psychology, and timing. Part 1. The first American success. 1. The Beetle and the anti-Detroit identity. In the 1950s and 1960s, the Volkswagen Beetle was radically different from American cars. Detroit produced large V8 sedans, chrome-heavy styling, annual design refreshes. Volkswagen offered minimalism, air-cooled engineering, mechanical simplicity, modest pricing. The Beetle became more than transportation. It became a countercultural symbol. Advertising emphasized honesty and self-awareness. Campaigns were understated compared to Detroit's bold marketing. Sales surged. By the late 1960s, Volkswagen was one of the largest import brands in America. But the strategy had one vulnerability: over-dependence on a single product architecture. 2. Regulatory pressures of the 1970s. The 1970s brought emissions regulations, safety mandates, oil crises. Air-cooled rear-engine platforms became difficult to adapt to new standards. Volkswagen transitioned to front-engine, front-wheel drive. The Volkswagen Golf replaced the Beetle's mechanical philosophy. The Volkswagen Passat targeted the family segment. Globally, these were strong platforms, but in America, this period coincided with the rise of Japanese imports. Part 2. The Japanese competitive wave. 3. Reliability as a strategic weapon. During the 1980s and 1990s, brands like Toyota, Honda focused aggressively on long-term durability and manufacturing consistency. American buyers began prioritizing reliability ratings, maintenance cost, and resale value. Volkswagen's quality control during certain periods was inconsistent. Electrical systems and component durability became recurring complaints in the U.S. market. Even when quality improved later, reputation lagged behind. Automotive branding compounds over time. A decade of reliability concerns can take decades to reverse. 4. The pricing identity crisis. Volkswagen attempted to occupy a middle ground, more refined than economy brands, less expensive than German luxury brands like BMW, Mercedes-Benz. But in America, middle positioning is risky. Consumers tend to gravitate towards clear value propositions or clear premium status. Volkswagen's affordable European engineering pitch resonated with a niche audience, but scaling that niche proved difficult. Part 3. The SUV structural shift. 5. The 1990s SUV expansion. As covered in your earlier topic, SUVs reshaped the American market. Vehicles like Ford Explorer and Toyota RAV4 captured family buyers. Volkswagen remained sedan-heavy through much of this transition. Its identity remained tied to compact cars, sporty sedans, and hatchbacks. SUV demand accelerated faster than Volkswagen's adaptation cycle. 6. Late SUV response. Volkswagen eventually introduced the Volkswagen Tiguan, the Volkswagen Atlas. The Atlas, developed specifically with American preferences in mind, represented a strategic shift towards localization. But entering a segment late means strong entrenched competitors, high advertising costs, dealer network challenges. Market share is easier to defend than to capture. Part 4. Manufacturing and localization. 7. The Chattanooga strategy. Volkswagen invested heavily in U.S. manufacturing, particularly in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Local production reduces currency risk, shipping costs, tariff exposure. However, engineering vehicles specifically for the American market increases development cost. Global platforms must be adjusted for larger interiors, softer ride tuning, automatic transmissions, increased horsepower expectations. These adaptations reduce global economies of scale. Volkswagen's global architecture strategy was optimized for Europe and China. The US required additional compromise. Part 5. Diesel as a strategic gamble. 8. Diesel positioning. In the 2000s, Volkswagen positioned clean diesel as its differentiator. Models like the Volkswagen Jetta TDI offered strong torque, good fuel economy, and highway efficiency. At a time when hybrids were rising, diesel offered an alternative path. This strategy gained traction, temporarily. 9. The 2015 emissions scandal. In 2015, U.S. regulators revealed software designed to manipulate emissions testing. Consequences included billions in penalties, large-scale buybacks, and severe reputational damage. For an already mid-sized brand in the U.S., this was disproportionately impactful. Trust is especially important for foreign brands operating in competitive markets. The scandal disrupted dealer networks, resale values, and long-term brand confidence. Part 6. Market share reality. 10. Structural scale disadvantage. Volkswagen's U.S. market share historically remained far below Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chevrolet. Without high-volume dominance in trucks or SUVs, achieving economies of scale proved difficult. Pickup trucks, a massive profit center in America, were never a major part of Volkswagen's U.S. portfolio. Structural absence from the truck segment limited long-term profitability. Part 7. The electric reset. 11. The ID strategy. Volkswagen repositioned itself globally around electrification. The Volkswagen ID.4 became central to U.S. strategy. Electric SUVs align better with American buying behavior. However, competition is intense, particularly from Tesla. EV success requires battery supply chains, charging partnerships, competitive pricing, and strong software integration. Volkswagen's U.S. EV trajectory remains in progress. Part 8. Cultural and structural mismatch. 12. Europe versus America. Volkswagen's strengths align naturally with Europe: compact dimensions, manual transmission heritage, dense urban environments, high fuel costs. The U.S. market prioritizes larger vehicles, automatic transmissions, highway comfort, and SUV dominance. Volkswagen has often excelled where small, efficient vehicles dominate. America increasingly rewards size and scale. Part 9. Brand perception over time. 13. Identity drift. Over decades, Volkswagen's identity in America shifted repeatedly. Counterculture simplicity, sporty European feel, affordable near luxury, diesel efficiency, post-scandal rebuild, EV transformation. Frequent repositioning can dilute clarity. Brands that succeed long-term in the U.S. often maintain consistent core messaging. Conclusion: Volkswagen's struggle in the United States is not defined by one failure. It is the result of cumulative structural challenges: over-reliance on early success, reliability perception gaps, middle-market positioning ambiguity, delayed SUV expansion, limited truck presence, diesel scandal damage, cultural misalignment, and scale disadvantages. Globally, Volkswagen remains one of the largest automakers in the world, but in the U.S., success requires alignment with uniquely American market dynamics. Volkswagen's journey illustrates a broader lesson: global strength does not automatically translate into local dominance.